anxiety, pleasure, pain, ecstasy. Tell me, Lord, how can I be better than I was born to be? Disillusion, hate, anxiety, pleasure, pain, ecstasy. Tell me, Lord, how can I be better than I was born to be?
Our special guest in session for us this week, Sprints. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hey, yeah.
Do they still talk about the legend of McGonagall's in Dublin? I don't suppose it's there anymore, is it?
No, I don't. I've heard of it, but it's definitely gone.
Right.
Before our time, Steve.
Yeah.
Too young.
Such a shame. The ghost of indie past lived within those walls. Okay, since then, when you were starting out, when you were first going to gigs, and I suppose actually when you first started playing around Dublin, what were the venues that were most important to you, and where are your memories, where are your memories from, of your formative musical days? Where are they from?
Whelan's is a big one. Whelan's is still quite iconic. I mean, like Jeff Buckley has graced the stage there, and we've played upstairs, downstairs, sideways, everywhere in that venue. And then the Grand Social is also quite close. Humbling, and every now and again it comes sometimes when you go to a city for the first time. But no, that's where you make your bread and butter. I think it's where you learn how to perform, how to play. And I do think that as you get bigger and start to play the academies or the theatres, you miss the small sweaty shows. Like, it's still our favourite thing to do is go to a little 100 cap, 200 cap room and just like sweat for an hour.
You think, I look back, I mean, the first time I ever saw you play live, one of the things I came away with was was thinking, God, they can actually really, they can play well. I mean, I don't mean, but I mean, what I meant was you had a real presence on stage. You understood what it was like to come and entertain a crowd, and you have to learn that somewhere, don't you, I think coming from Dublin, where there is notoriously like excellent crowds, they're not going to give you something for nothing, because we also quite begrudge ourselves a lot. Like, if anyone thinks they're doing well, you'll be quick to put them down a peg or two. So you have to really impress the hometown crowd. So I think that's where that comes from. Talking of playing live, you've been all over the show recently, haven't you? Gigs in Europe, gigs I think with Fontaines, a gig in Rome over the weekend, I believe. Rome.
Yeah, that was absolutely lovely. We're very full of wine and pasta right now.
It was a delicious concert. Absolutely molto bene.
Didn't matter about the crowd. The ride was amazing. We had a lovely time. Didn't matter if no one showed. I mean, it was a good gig though. Yeah, I know. Are you already putting some of the new songs into the set? I suppose it doesn't matter, but in some cases when you're playing in front of audiences who maybe don't know you as thoroughly as we do.
This is something we constantly argue about. So lately we've settled on about half and half, old and newish stuff. Everyone's heard the old stuff. We're sick of it. Play the new tunes. Well, lucky you say that, because now you have the opportunity to do 3 of the new ones. We'll do one for starters, and we'll talk about the new album, because the second record is coming out this coming Friday. More about that after. What are you going to start with? What's your first song? Better. It's Sprints live on Six Music. Here you go.
Sprint's playing live for us, our special guest in session at the Maida Vale Studios, and a version of Better, which is one of the tracks you'll find on the new record, All That Is Over, which, you know me, I try and find themes to a record, or try and second guess sometimes what is behind it. There's quite a lot contained within this album, though, and it was hard, apart from the fact that the title of it, All That Is Over, is one of the lines in the song Beg. I couldn't work out if there was a song which the album sort of clustered around, whether there was something which informed the rest of the record as you were writing it.
I think the first track we worked with Zach on as like a fully fledged member of Sprint was To The Bone. We were touring America, and he joined us in the summer after Colin left, and we couldn't get him a visa in time, so the logistics
wouldn't let me in.
But I was sending him demos back and forth, and To The Bone was the first one we worked on, and I asked him to add some spooky, ominous, ambient guitars, and I think that was kind of the unfurling of it all. And songs started to kind of fall out of us very quickly, very rapidly, but very organically at the same time. And they were written in between gigs and sound checks and tour vans and trains and planes and automobiles and all the rest.
Is that quite a nice way, in a way, of writing songs? Because it's probably easier remembering a song and how it came to be if you were somewhere interesting than just in a rehearsal room. Do you see what I mean? Can you remember where certain songs, or the core of certain songs, were written?
Yeah, I think half of them started as voice notes, and the names of them are just the cities we were in, or whatever show we were playing. But I think we loved it, didn't we? It was a lot more organic, and sometimes we wrote them in sound checks and played them that night, I think.
But also the thing is, if you're writing away from home in the thick of things, instead of being locked away in a rehearsal room, does it mean that you can write almost more spontaneously, or at least you can be more responsive to the actual real world which you're in?
I think because some of the songs are in soundcheck, we could be spontaneous in a way that we would just play them that night and then see how they went down. And then, if they went down well, we'd carry on with it,
Yeah, it was like a live litmus test almost of like, are people going to like the new stuff or what? But yeah, like Sam said, it was great. I think we're obviously a band who prides themselves on their live show, and being able to play them live before anyone else heard them was kind of the perfect indicator of, right, are we on the right track, or are we absolutely terrible at album two?
Got a whole room of managers and A&R people. There you go. What do you think before we take it back to the label? I've always thought in some ways that, amongst other things, but it's almost as if Sprints and some of your songs are like a person striving for something, or maybe almost digging themselves out of a hole, but then they occasionally fall back into that hole. And I get a bit more of that from this record.
Yeah, I think this one is probably a lot about us trying to make sense of both this kind of insane life that we've lived the last year, between quitting our jobs and going full-time in music, playing 103 shows, going through personal changes, lineup changes, every kind of upheaval you could, and then the simultaneous chaos of the world outside and the world around you. I think there's a lot for people to be disillusioned and, upset or hopeless about, but within that, music and the arts have really been a beacon of hope and a coming together and a community for us. And it's kind of like what we just love to do. So we're four friends who want to make noise and who want to make some noise that matters. And yeah, I think there's definitely days where you fall back in the hole, but then honestly nothing fixed it for us except for playing shows. So we do put ourselves back out and you crawl out of it. And I do think in this world there is a lot to be upset about, but there's a lot of hope as well, and that's what we want to kind of push through and persevere through.
I've always thought that coming back from tour is the scariest place for a band, because it offers such a moment of reflection, doesn't it? Because if you're going to suddenly realise how much you and your life has changed, then it's the moment when you wake up for the first morning in your own flat.
Yeah, I think we're all fully institutionalised at this point. We had about 3 weeks off gigging there, and the last week we were just chatting, being like, yeah, God, it's been way too long since we've had a show. I'm getting really restless.
Keep running.
And there's quite a lot of reflection on this record, I think. In fact, there are moments where it does sound like you're sending out a personal SOS message in something like Pieces, for instance, I think is one of those. Well, maybe even Abandon, which is the opening track, as a hint of that. Do you see what I mean? Do you get that?
Well, you know me, Steve. I'm in a constant state of despair and existentialism. So, just somebody help me. Why am I here? I don't know. Let's make some noise.
What about? There's a couple of other tracks, if you don't mind me asking about. Descartes, obviously. I don't know. It's one of those songs. It's when you get to the second album, there's a time where I imagine you start to examine what actually drives you to do what you do, and it can't just be about running away on tour. There's something which it was almost a need. That if you didn't do it, you'd have nowhere for all this stuff to go. It'd have to come out your head somewhere, so it might as well come out like this.
Yeah, it's pretty much nail on the head. It's exactly what we need music for and use it for. And I think if we didn't have it, we'd be absolutely lost. Like, God knows what we'd be doing with our time. But I think there wasn't enough time for us to doubt ourselves or the music or to second guess. I think this album was very instinctual and natural and organic. And, you know, if we had ideas, we just ran with them, like, no pun intended. But it was just, you know, a really honest reflection of our last 12 months. The songs fell out of us when we were doing what we loved the most, and we still turned to music, even though that's what we were doing like 24 hours a day already. And I think that speaks to how important the arts are for us to, you know, process what's happening in ourselves, around us, and to push through all of the noise that doesn't matter.
We should also make the point that the sound, you know, is still cathartic, but there's also, I mean, there's an array of sounds on this record. There's something more shadowy and haunting and almost gothic at times. I think Something's Gonna Happen is one of those, whilst, you know, balanced with, you know, playing to your punk rock strengths. But it feels like, were you less self-conscious this time around making this record?
Yeah, definitely. I think so. I think we were more confident and, like Carla said, had less time to worry and think about it. But as the thing Dan said in the studio, and it's like, the more you do music, the better you get at it, which is really obvious.
Well, you'd hope so.
You'd hope so.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what happened to us.
As I say, album's out on Friday. Are you doing, I imagine you're doing some gigs and some in-stores and some out-stores and that sort of thing. What have you got coming up over the coming couple of weeks?
Yeah, we have a lot of in-stores across the UK, in Dublin as well, starting in Dublin actually, and in Europe. And on Wednesday night, we definitely have something very special planned. So I would suggest, if you're London-based, don't stroll away too far from Stoke Newington in the evening time. What do we think? Yeah?
I think that's a good idea, yeah.
Yeah.
Aim for Stoke Newington
for
Wednesday evening.
A pint and, little something or other.
Soiree.
I mean... you tease. What a tease. There might be something happening in Stoke Newington on Wednesday night. Sprints fans. There you go. Is that all we're going to tell them? Yeah. That's all we're going to tell them for now.
That's all we're going to tell them.
All right. To whet everyone's appetite, here's two more songs. Run these two together. I shan't butt in. Your next one. What's next?
This one's called Need.
It sprints absolutely live on BBC Six Music.